LoreWarrior Online, FNHK-9K, Falcon Hawk. Overview. In 2768, the SLDF High Command released a report that set forth new design, weapon, and armor guidelines for all future light mechs. Kalon Industries in the Free Worlds League was one of the many battlemech manufacturers to receive the report and one of the first to build a new light prototype mech, the Falcon Hawk, under the new guidelines. Intended as the SLDF's new light raider and recon mech, the Falcon Hawk never went beyond the prototype stage. The upheaval of the Amara Civil War cut short the mech's development, and Kalon's light battlemech plant was destroyed by House Steiner in May of 2794, at the start of the First Succession War. It wasn't until the decoding of the Grey Death memory core would lead to the rediscovery of Starleague-era technologies that Kalon was able to restart the development and production of the Falcon Hawk. Capabilities. Built to serve as a raider and deep scout recon mech, the Falcon Hawk is one of a new series of light mechs being produced by the Inner Sphere for defense against the clans. The Falcon Hawk utilizes the highly efficient Omni 175XL engine, which gives the Falcon Hawk respectable speed, while allowing for the installation of heavier weaponry and 3 additional double heat sinks. The Falcon Hawk's weapons are well suited for its missions. The primary weapon is the Fusagon Long Tooth Extended Range PPC, which gives the Falcon Hawk approximately the same firing range as its clan counterparts. Secondary weapons include 2 medium pulse lasers, a small pulse laser, and a rear-firing medium laser mounted in the center torso. Light ferrofibrous armor spread across the mech's frame for maximum effect gives the Falcon Hawk excellent protection for its weight class. Deployment. Though the Falcon Hawk never had an opportunity to demonstrate its merits to the SLDF, the High Command of the Free Worlds League has great hopes for the mech, and has stationed 2 Lancers of Falcon Hawks near its Lyran Alliance periphery border. The Lyran Alliance has stationed 3 Lancers of Falcon Hawks on its border with the clans, while the Federated Commonwealth has stationed its 8 Falcon Hawks with the Davian Light Guards. All 3 militaries anticipate that their new mechs will obtain valuable combat experience in the near future. Variants. Currently, Kalon Industries is offering only one variant of the Falcon Hawk, designated the 9K1A. This variant replaces the ERPPC and medium pulse lasers with an extended range large laser, a standard large laser, and a medium laser. This model is exported to the Federated Commonwealth, the Lyran Alliance, and the Draconis Combine, as well as being sold to mercenary units throughout the Inner Sphere. So the Falcon Hawk, mass 35 tons, chassis Kalon Light Type 2AXQ. Power plant is an Omni 175XL with a cruise speed of 54 and a max speed of 86. Jump jets are none, jump capacity none. Armor is a Kalon Light Ferrofibrous with an armament of a single Fusagon Longtooth PPC, 2 Tronel 12 medium pulse lasers, a single diverse optic small pulse laser, and 1 Martel medium laser. Manufacturer is Kalon Industries with primary factory on Assumption. Communication system is the Irian Telstar, and the targeting and tracking system is the Guide-Right with laser coordination link. So it runs walks 5, runs 8. It has 13 double heat sinks for 26 heat dissipation, with an armor value of 9 on the head, good old 9, 16 on the center torso, 6 on the rear, 12 on the right and left torso, 4 on the rear, and it has 12 on the right and left arm, and 16 on the right and left leg. With obviously the ERPPC in the right arm, 2 medium pulses in the left arm, the small pulse in the head, and the CT-mounted rear laser. Of course, the artwork kind of makes those 2 medium pulse lasers look massive in the left arm. It's not a bad-looking mech. I don't know if it's painfully generic or what really. It's one of Dwayne Luce's artwork, which I know these days there are people out there who find that his artwork was kind of wonky, a bit crap. But I don't know, I think without Luce's original designs and artwork from, say, 3025, 3026, he kind of set the standard for what a lot of the battlemechs look like in the Battletech universe. So without that, you can't really have some of the favourites that we have today, which, yes, there have been improvements by later artists, but, credit where credit's due. It's not a bad looking mech, though, Falcon Hawk. It's pretty cool. Raiders are always a nice design, although obviously this probably wouldn't have fit too well in the period that it was introduced, because Raider mechs were great back in the Succession War era, when the great houses were basically picking each other's planets clean for spare parts and other items of importance like that for their militaries. And even the SLDF, it would have been useful for keeping the peace on some of those rowdy periphery worlds and dealing with, some of the gunslingers and all that. But yeah, I don't know, against clanners, probably wouldn't have worked out as well, especially the fact that it's not an Omni-Mech, it's a standard battle mech, so it'd be in the same position as a lot of them. 5 and 8's not bad movement speed, but clearly it's a mech that wants to sit at range and hit things, and then when it really needs to, it gets in close. But yeah, there is actually a more up-to-date TRO write-up for it, which I did actually do some recording of, and then it did what happened with the updated 3050, which everything just became about the fucking Word of Blake. Oh, the Word of Blake have a special variant. Oh, they made sure that they have a super duper variant that was made because they're the Word of Blake. They're the super bad guys that come about. The Word of Blake are one of the worst things that seems to have happened to the Battletech universe because the writers just got sucked in to just making them everything. They're up there with me now as the fucking First Order from Star Wars. They're just this bad guy group of lunatics that come out of fucking nowhere and just they have everything. They've got spaceships, super weapons, entire armies of loyal soldiers, and mech pilots, fucking aerospace pilots, everything else. They have an entire great house basically under thumb that will just provide shit for them because, it doesn't bother us, crazy jihadists, what's the worst that can happen, right? And all the writing, just even what's supposed to be a technical readout to tell us about the mech becomes a thing about how amazing the Word of Blake is. Ooh, aren't they so cool? Aren't they so smart? They have their own special variant, the 9K1B variant. Ooh. Isn't that so special? And, of course, what's the notable mech warrior? Adept Zai Kellen Armitage, one of the most infamous level 2 commanders amongst the Word of Blake, attacking Atreus. He of the 15th Division has earned the nickname Bloody Shepherd for the way in which he and his command routinely flush and execute insurgents from the cities on the conquered free world's capital. Fuck off. Just sick of it. It's fine. Overview, fine. Capabilities, fine. Deployment, suddenly become Word of Blake. Variants, Word of Blake. Notable mech warriors, Word of Blake. 2/3 of the write-up is Word of Blake. That's not what I want to read in the book. I want to read about the Falcon Hawk. I don't want to read about the Word of Blake using the Falcon Hawk. I just want to know about the mech. So I had to go back to the original 3058 write-up, which was far more balanced. It told me about where the mech came from, it told me about its capabilities, what its intended role was, who bought it, who's planning to use it. That's all I wanted. That's perfectly fine. The Word of Blake stuff is terrible. And no doubt it will creep back up at some point. I will try and use the updated 3058 when I can. Unfortunately, some of it seems to be snuck in with the Omni-Mechs. I don't even know if the Owens is going to do this now. It'll be like, Owens, Word of Blake, oh, fuck this shit. It might just turn into that. I hope not, because I like the Owens. It's a nice Omni-Mech. Lots of people remember it from MechWarrior 4, for instance. Even MechWarrior 3. I believe it had a big part in MechWarrior 3, if I remember correctly. Hopefully, the write-up for that one will not slip into that shit, but it could do. So we have to go back to the previous one. Fuck Word of Blake.